True.
At this time, I'd like to bring to the floor our national governor, Sheik Maddox-Bey, Islam.
He's the one that said we'll come with 1 foot on land and 1 foot on sea and cry in a loud voice that time be no more. Now what time is that?
Time of slavery.
Negro, black, and colored time.
Wow.
Islam. That time, the rule of the Lord self is over. See, but we got to realize it because things are made of thought. Islam. And that's what we got to now demonstrate. You have to demonstrate the thoughts of the prophet. Islam. I give honor to, like I said before, all the prophets. And I give honor to the little piece of leather that was well put together, the third reincarnation. We believe in the reincarnation. Prophet Noble Drew founder, Prophet Noble Drew reincarnated, the second, and Prophet Noble Drew reincarnated, the third. Islam, and we might have even have a fourth reincarnation.
Islam.
This history is very important and very sacred. Islam. Because what the reincarnated did, John Gibbonsdale II, he stopped the movement from, he really prevented a corporate takeover of the true teachings. That's what he did, right? In his temple, you didn't eat flesh, they were vegetarians, you spoke in a still small voice, Islam, and everything was peaceful. And he was a government man, because he sent that moment, the little piece of leather, well put together, Prophet Noble Drew III, into the government, to put this foundation down for the Moors for the future. And this is what we want to build on, Islam. We got to think government. You got to think government, you got to think nation. See, because see, without a government and without a nation, you're in a Negro condition. Look at our people. Let's look at Ferguson, Missouri, for example. Right? How long them cameras been in Ferguson now? Been there a long time, right? That's a production, Mo. They telling you something. They telling each other something. And what they saying is, to this very day, still no rights given to a Negro that we bound to respect. That brother wasn't just shot, or he was murdered, he was assassinated, right? That was the purpose for it. That was a sacrifice. Kill it. This is what Rome do, right? Now, when Justice Taney held that a Negro had no rights that a white man bound to respect, just keep in mind that he also stipulated, he reversed the Missouri Compromise of 1820. That compromise basically stated that you can't bring up, well, the Missouri Compromise was basically a free state and a slave state came in, right? Part of the Union, right? But the slave state could not come into the free state with slaves. He reversed that. So what are they saying? They saying all the gains that they gained through that time of freedom, now we're going to reverse it. And that's what you see taking place. See? That's what's taking place. Unto us a son is given, unto us a child is born. And he'll come with the government resting upon his shoulders. He will be called Wonderful Counselor, Prince of Peace, Lord of Lords, King of Kings. The rule and peace to his kingdom, there shall be no end. So we're not just stopping tomorrow, this is forever and ever. Because there are no such people as Negroes, blacks, and colors. 3 things that comprise the nation: the people, the territory, and the law. Islam? And real quick, I want to demonstrate in chapter 47, page 57. This is important. I got about 3 or 4 demonstrations. I didn't know when the Grand Sheik was going to get here, and I didn't know how our time was, so I just wanted to be prepared just in case. But y'all going to run across some things as you go through this Moorish paradigm. You're going to run across Moors that have no respect for Lincoln whatsoever. And no more, according to the prophet, they got false teachings. Prophet Noble Drew spoke highly of Abraham Lincoln. Islam? The 22 states that Elijah Muhammad is talking about, what we Muslims want, that's dealing with the proclamation. Prophet Noble Drew taught them this. Islam? See? So we got to begin to acquire land. Not just as an individual, but in the whole nation of us. Islam, this is government business, bro. This is government business. So I want to go to chapter 47, page 50.
Let me say it this way. Chapter 47. In all things, the illustrious name of Allah, the evil, the most merciful. Egypt, the capital empire of the dominion of Africa. Verse 1. The inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanites from the land of Canaan.
This is the ancient Canaan, the Canaanite land, where the present day Saudi Arabia. Right, so they came into Egypt. Go ahead, Lord.
Old man Cush.
Old man Cush, meaning he was ancient already. Go ahead, Lord.
Old man Cush and his family are the first inhabitants of Africa who came from the land of Canaan.
That is after the flood. A flood took place. Now the earth is being repeopled. Islam. So old man Cush and his family are the first inhabitants of Africa who came from the land of Canaan. Go ahead.
His father Ham and his family were second.
His father Ham and his family was second. Go ahead, Mo.
Then came this word Ethiopians.
Then came the word Ethiopian. It's a very important word because it's not a person. It's a demarcation line. The true name for the people of that region who are called Ethiopians is Esbasinians. Islam?
Islam.
Okay, now, go ahead, Mo. We read a little bit more.
Ethiopia, which means the demarcation line of the dominion of Mexico.
Okay, here's the demarcation line right here. Right, it divides the world into 4 equal quarters. That's the master meridian, or the natural meridian. They changed that from the they put the 0 in Greenwich, England. Islam, they changed it so you can't, when you go to the map, you can't see Egypt on the west. Yeah, the master meridian. Islam. So they changed the master, right? But the prophet came to set the record straight. The truth don't change or pass away. It do what? It takes another form. Reincarnation. Islam? Am I making sense more?
Islam.
Go ahead, bro.
Mexico, the first true and divine name of Africa.
Okay, now hold it. Because Moors call me, I can't, I've been searching for that word, Mexican, I don't see it. Now we're dealing with the science of linguistics, language. Islam? So you got to put things together, man. You know, we got to try to use more science as best we can. Islam, the Prophet said, I want all my members to exercise their 5 senses, right? Okay, here you got an ancient kingdom called Axum, and what we call Ethiopia. Ancient. Right? Right. And here, over here, you got a place called Mexico. Right? But the Mexicans don't pronounce it Mexico. I'm talking about the True Bloods. They say what? A Mexico. A Mexico. A Mexico, Axum, or Mexican. Islam?
Islam.
Go ahead, Sheik.
The dividing of the land between the Father and the Son.
The dividing of the land between the Father and the Son. Everybody you see on the earth came out of this configuration. Remember what it says in the Quran, Surah 2, Ayat 213, right? We were all one nation. That's the law. That's in the Quran. Go ahead, Lord.
The dominion of Cush, northeast and southeast Africa.
Northeast and southeast was Cush's name. All going back this way. If you go to India, ask the Indians who they come from, they're going to tell you Kush. That's why you got the Hindu Kush up here. Islam? Go ahead, Mo.
And northwest.
And northwest.
And southwest was his father's dominion.
Here we go. Northwest and southwest, all this. Islam. Now let me say something, Mo. We got to think about this. Here you got a land over here called Canada, right? Remember, that's ancient Canaan as well. See, remember, what was in the east? in the west. What was in the west is in the east. We all the same people. Islam. There are no new people under, there's nothing new under the sun. Now all you're doing is throwing this Negro, black, and colored off you, right, and going back to your true history. Islam, go ahead, Sheik.
In later years, many of their brethren from Asia and the Holy Land joined.
Many of their brethren from Asia, right, and the Holy Lands.
Holy Lands.
Holy Lands, that's more than one. Mecca, ancient Jerusalem, China, the Holy Lands, Buddha, wherever Buddha was, wherever Confucius was, wherever the prophets were, and established a center, that was the Holy Lands. Go ahead, Sheik.
The Moabites.
The Moabites.
From the land of Moab.
From the land of Moab.
Who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit northwest Africa. They were the founders and are true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire.
Of the present Moroccan Empire. Islam. Now keep in mind something more. And y'all study this very carefully. Go back and check the record. If I'm wrong, I stand to be corrected, but you get back in contact with me, help me out if I'm wrong. Atlantis was a colony of a place called Mu. Islam?
Islam.
Right? The sister, the Moabites, see, that's the reincarnation spirit. It happens again and again and again. Right? It always comes back. It always does that. It always comes back like that. That's nature. See? Out of the roof of the Moabites came mighty men, mighty nations, mighty people. Islam? Because she did something that was very fantastic and very adept. She raised the name of the dead upon its inheritance. Islam? Ain't our prophet doing the same thing? When he born of a woman, didn't they say of Melchizedek he was without father, without mother, without beginning of days or ending of days? Ain't the sister the first teacher? Didn't she teach him? And he passed the lessons on to us. Go ahead, Sheik.
With their Canaanite, Hittite, and Amorite brethren.
With their Canaanite, Hittite, and Amorite brother.
Who sojourned from the land of Canaan.
You're looking at it. You're looking at it. We the same people all over the world. Just take that Negro, black, and color. See, a lot of them all say, well, no, you're wrong, more I'm black. See? Well, I mean, you take a look. You follow me? The prophet say our skin is olive. We lost light. We lost perception of ourselves. So you really can't see the olive. You follow me? But where's man from? Man is from the earth. The physical part of man. That's where you draw your olive from. Am I making sense, Mo? Go ahead, Sheik.
Their dominion and inhabitation extended from northeast and southwest Africa, across the great Atlantis, even unto the present North, South, and Central America, and also Mexico, and the Atlantis Islands, before the great earthquake which caused the great Atlantic Ocean.
There we go right here. It was land in between here, Mo. Islam, a whole other civilization, right? Whole other civilization. And guess what, Mo? Atlantis is rising. There you go right there. There you go. You're rising. See, Mo, we got so much power. If we tell the sun, we say to the sun, sun, don't shine. Don't you know the sun won't shine? The universe, Mo, is right here. Right? But we've been distorted. Right? Look what they're feeding the children there. Right? That's Ritalin. The Ritalin causes breast in young men. Right? That bismuthol in the plastic bottles. That changed the hormones from a male to a female. So what is Rome saying to you? You're in an asymmetrical war. Well, what, go ahead and read a little bit more.
Okay. The river Nile was dredged and made by the ancient pharaohs of Egypt.
The river Nile. The Nile flows from south to the north. Islam. The river Nile. Go ahead, Bo.
In order to trade with the surrounding kingdoms.
On both sides of the Nile. All the way up. Go ahead, Sheik.
Also, the Niger River.
The Niger River is very important, Mo, because the Niger runs like this. Islam. It runs from east to west. Okay? Go ahead, Sheik.
The Niger River was dredged by the great pharaoh of Egypt in those ancient days for trade, and it extends eastward from the River Nile, westward across the great Atlantic, and it was, excuse me, this hand is not there.
Right, across the great Atlantic.
Right.
Right? Atlantic. Atlantic.
Yes, you're right.
Atlantis. I-S.
Well, this is a misprint there.
Okay. Go ahead, Mo.
It was used for trade and transportation.
Because the earth was still whole. So it had to be Atlantis. I-S. Islam.
Islam.
Now that was a major project. Because now they traveled. Islam. We traveling on the waterways. Another term that the Moors were called, and we were known as the Phoenicians. And the Phoenicians were seafarers. We wore purple.
That's right.
Royalty.
Islam.
Y'all from out the royal house, look at you. With that turban on, with that victory in the center. That's what that V is for, victory. Islam.
Islam.
See it all, see it out, that button? Islam. Go ahead, Mom.
According to all true and divine records of the human race.
Very important. Listen to this very carefully. Go ahead, Sheik.
There is no Negro, black, or colored race attached to the human family.
All right, listen, hold up. If it's a Negro, black, or colored race, go to the map and prove it to me. Show me their civilization. Show me where they came from, how they developed. Well, you can't do it. See, people weren't called by the color. They were called by the land in which they inhabited. Or named the land after themselves. Islam?
Islam.
That's why we say this is Egypt of the West, according to law. You have a law that says that you're home. You got to attend to these lessons. That's in the compensated emancipation. And thank you, Mo. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Roll it up. That's why Lincoln is so important. Now, in school, they tell you all Lincoln wanted to do was save the Union. But he didn't tell you, they didn't tell you what Union. Islam? They didn't tell you what Union. And the Union that we talk about is the union of the 35 Moors and the 20 Anglo-Saxons. And when you get an opportunity, just go to the library, go on the internet, and check the document out called the Monroe Doctrine. And the Monroe Doctrine is explicit. It tells the Europeans in Europe, don't bring your system of government over here. Don't bring it over here.
That's right.
And if it's over here, you better get out of town by sundown. Now you say, well, you just talk, you ain't got no power. We do have power, Paul. We do have power. This man is in trouble. He's looking for Jesus. Caesar is looking for Jesus. Just like in days of old. Islam? Y'all know the story? Y'all know that Jesus was a great physician, right? He was a master healer. Am I right or wrong? Right? And Caesar was sick. And Caesar sent his people out to find this physician. And Pontius Pilate, according to that record, let the Negroes or the niggas kill him. According to that record. Right? And what happened to Pontius Pilate? Can anybody tell me what happened to Pontius Pilate when he faced Caesar? You don't know what happened to him? Read the stories. The book is called The Lost Books of the Bible and Forgotten Books. I ain't going to tell you. But you read it for yourself. Listen, Moors. Here we study the history of Lincoln. And it's not because just what he did, it was who he was. See that prayer she's sitting in that seat? I didn't put that Mo there. None of the brothers in the back put him there. That Mo there didn't put him there. You know who put him there? The reincarnated prophet put that Mo there. The Mo asked that Mo 3 times, Mo, who gonna run this temple? The Mo said, I don't know, Mo. He said, Mo, I'm gonna ask you again. Who gonna run the temple? He said, Brother Prophet, I don't know. He said, Mo, I'm gonna ask you one more time. Who gonna run the temple? And the Mo said, Brother Prophet, I don't know. And the prophet said, Mo, it's you. It's you. Look at that complexion. You say, wait a minute, Mo, you talk about complexion. You don't know about complexion. You don't know about melanin.
Darker you are, the stronger you are genetically, and thus you were here first.
Indeed.
Islam,
Right.
right? All people on earth came from us, Lord. Ain't no biggie. We ain't patting ourselves on the back. Say that's a scientific fact. Islam, and that means greater responsibility is given us. Islam, but we got a mighty work to do to deal with the unconscious, and to deal with the conscious, and to deal with yourself. Because if you don't conquer that lower self, you ain't got to worry about the man on the outside. You already defeated. Islam, but remember, we in an asymmetrical war, and you had to up the ante now. Islam. So now I'm telling y'all more this. Begin to put up food and water that'll last you for 90 days. Get your medical kit and any other thing that you need, because you get ready to go through rough times, Lord. You know, and all brothers of law that study law, that's learning law, right? Look at the prophet's works very carefully, because eventually you're going to have diplomatic immunity. There's nothing new under the sun. Islam? But the Europeans can't create nothing new for you, Mo. So all he can do is go back and get what he did to you in the past. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what he get ready to do. Remember they dropped a bomb on you, baby. They dropped in Oklahoma, Greenwood, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street. They dropped that bomb.
That's right.
Right now they're figuring out what they're trying to figure out now is who they want to drop it on and how they want to do it. Now you got to see, remember now, the European conscience is rising too. But some of them saying, no, don't do that, you know, this, that, and the other, you got to go by the Constitution. Some of them don't want to go by the Constitution. Some of them want to go full Roman Empire, right? Or brute force once you get that 14th Amendment. Islam. See, that's why the prophet say, go to those that know law and ask in an intelligent tone, and they will be glad to render you a favorable reply. So you got to change the ethos. You can't go there like you're a gangster, with no gangster attitude and pants swinging. If I this man look at you like you crazy, you found you had to go in an intelligent tone. We're more intelligent than we realize. Be that light. Right? Because you shine in the dark. You get ready to go into a dark age, Mom. See? Because the Europeans, Islam, the Europeans are not going according to the law. You ain't got to worry about the enemy outside now. The enemy's already in the cast.
That's right.
He's already in. Right? Remember, when we didn't do what we were supposed to do, Allah was heated with us. And he said, because you did this, because you did not honor the covenant,
That's right.
Islam,
Islam.
I'm gonna make you like a dish. You're gonna be wiped up and down to earth. You're gonna be a footstool for the nations. Ain't be a footstool for the nations. Don't everybody come here and pop off us? Use our energy. Look at football, basketball, baseball, every sport that we good at.
That's right.
You're not the owners of no teams. You don't know franchises, nothing. No stores, no food, no nothing. Nothing for the sisters. That's why they look at us like we're crazy. Islam? So law governed all events. So I'm going to close, because I want the grand sheet to come on. I'm going to close with the Gettysburg Address. Because here we study Lincoln. See, y'all coming from different backgrounds. Oregon, New Jersey, California, this place, that place. We know what they told you about Lincoln. But the prophet said, and these names last did. That means it ended in 1865. If it ended in 1865, why we still going by today? Because we weren't intelligent enough to be a body politic and to go to Rome in one collective. You follow me? And tell and the sisters, you know, tell the mental health and hygiene, you know, stop putting no marks on our children. See? The brother got to deal with the military too. This is important. So I'm getting ready to close out, Mo. So here we go. The Gettysburg Address. Islam. Islam. I think that's the Islam, Mo. They just keep in mind, when they do, it's a picture of Abraham Lincoln. 5 Negro presidents. Any of y'all seen that picture?
Yes, sir.
Right, how they, the more got the pantaloons on, the baggy pants, Islam. You got the sword of life, one turned up, the sword of death, one turned down. On his belt is us, Islam.
Islam.
You got the bull, which represent our mascot, right? And he's wrapping that turban. And they call him Abraham Africanus, right? Well, I'm gonna tell y'all more something. I hope this don't be a shock to you, but Abraham Lincoln was a Moorish man. Islam. The party that he was belonged to was called the Whiggamores. And what do our man should tell y'all about that ass? Remove that ass, and what you got? The Moors party, Islam. That's what we gotta have in the future. If we had it in the past, we gotta have it in the future. That's why that concept of republic is so important. Islam. See? Why is that so important? Because that's law. What's the law? Article 4, Section 4. The United States will guarantee to every state a Republican form of government. And Section 7 is very important too, because you got to have representation. So we got enough people naturalized, Islam, right? And we can send that representative to Congress. You're going to find out that you was in the majority all along. So no nation here outnumber us, man. The only nation that comes close to us the only nation that comes close is the Mexicans, Islam. But remember, when you look at the Europeans, you're looking at them forms and say, oh, they outnumber us. Not according to nationality. Go ahead, sir. The Gettysburg Address, this is what we fought for. I'm going to show you something.
The Gettysburg Address, National Cemetery, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, November 19, 1863. 47 years ago, our father brought forth on this continent a new nation.
A new nation. A new nation. No, the laws here don't oppose slavery at all. The Article of Association, the Article of Federation, the Constitution, none of that. Don't uphold none of that.
Conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live.
Islam, so just a second. Now, in Gettysburg, the Union soldiers and the Confederate soldiers was facing each other. And it was a conversation between the two. And the question was asked to the Confederate soldiers, what y'all doing in Gettysburg? And the Confederates said, we come to take that northern capital and to melt that Liberty Bell. And we said, over our dead bodies. And that's where we stopped them at, in Gettysburg. That's when we broke the forces of General Lee. Islam? In Gettysburg. Now you might say, well, Lee, he was an old white guy on a horse, this, that, the other. Listen, he was a jungle fighter, bro. They dealt in guerrilla warfare. He was one of the best generals of the army. Right? He hit us on a number of occasions with a low force. So you can't, I'm telling you, don't play this cheap. Do not play this history cheap. Islam? But we had men on the outside too. Right? Grant and Williamson comes to Sherman. And Sherman was a madman. Because when he came from Atlanta, what he say? Burn it down. Burn the fields, burn the houses, and if they get in the way, burn them too. Right? The brothers that was with him, some of them tried, because the man, he was a warrior. And that's what it's going to take to do this job. Go ahead, sister.
It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. the brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated far above our full power to add or detract. The world will little know nor long remember what we say here.
You know, right? Lord knows the long remember what we say. But he ain't gonna never forget what you did, Lord. Islam, he ain't gonna forget what we did in Italy. When we took the elephants over the Alps. Right? And every Roman contingency that they threw at us, we conquered. But we did not take Rome. Islam. And the same tactics, right, that Hannibal used was used in the Civil War. And what is the mascot of the Republican Party?
Elephant.
Is the donkey or the ass? Well, who's the ass? Because we the elephant. Go ahead, Mom.
It is for
It's
us, the living, rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion
Increase devotion. Go ahead, sir.
to that cause
To that cause,
for which they gave the last full measure of devotion.
Islam. She called for a standing, Mom. Your flag, Islam. Your flag is over 10,000 years old. Right? Now what's going on with this flag? They took it from what was in the heavens, they put it on earth for a sign and for a testament. All the Asiatic flags, mostly all the Asiatics have not been dominated by Europeans, have the stars, moon, or sun in their flag. Islam? But this is the oldest. In the ancient world, it used to be white. In the ancient world, but through bloodshed, through that lower self. Satan got a nationality, more. Y'all keep your eyes and ears on the news. Watch what's happening and communicate with each other. Because we scattered all over the place. That's one of our problems. We got to be able to show a culture so the people can see. Because I'm going to tell y'all, sisters, I'm going to tell y'all the same thing the Lord told us. When we go to Washington, these places, y'all will have to come get us. And y'all can't come get us, y'all got to have them turbans on. You follow me, in that white on. Is that not right, Grant?
Absolutely.
So we already know this day is coming. But we got to go where? To D.C., where government business is done. You finish up?
No.
Okay, go ahead, finish up.
That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
Right. They don't protect it in the parish. But you know, they bring a lot of Europeans in here, and a lot of different Asiatics, and they setting up all these corporations. And guess what? Guess who's going to be on the bottom? If we don't carry this thing out, we won't be on the bottom, we won't carry it out. Because law governs all events. And you got to respect your law. So with that, I'm going to turn the meeting back over to our divine minister, Sheik. Thank you for your undivided attention, Moors.
Peace.